And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
What is up, Wrestle Geeks? It is Big Mike here, and your eyes doth not deceive you. I am hosting today. Unfortunately, my Mega Powers brother 99, JC, had a little family business to take care of. Oh, yeah. So he did the Mega Powers handshake, and he gave me the hot tag, and he said, "You're hosting, brother." And with me, as always, though, we got Tommy. Welcome in.
Hey guys. I was gonna have a joke there, but that impression was so good, I just couldn't even think. Dang it!
And behind the scenes, we got our man Steady, and right off the bat, we do not fail. Hashtag top tier Tommy. But as always, Wrestle Geeks.
I hate this show.
You know, I mean, we got to stay with the classics. Don't forget to join us on Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast, and as always on YouTube at Countdown City Geeks, on our new website, Countdown City Geeks, where not only do we have wrestling, there's the plug right there.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of geek and nerd related things. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Star Wars, movies, wrestling, of course, video games. It's all covered there at your home for geekdom, Countdown City Geeks. Boo.
Nailed it.
Yes. All right. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we are going to take a look and briefly go over AEW Revolution, which was one heck of a pay-per-view. We're going to get into some local news, and Tommy is going to talk a little bit about BOW show from this past weekend. And then we'll talk about wrestling news and anything else to kind of finish off as usual. So let's start in wrestling news. Outside of the pay-per-view, was there anything really big that happened this week?
There was one big thing. The news that Backlash, thank God it's just being called Backlash, is going to be in Puerto Rico and hosted by Bad Bunny.
Yes.
I think that came out Tuesday.
No, I think that one was yesterday. Because there's an article about that on Countdown City Geeks, which was written by Steady.
Oh.
And then actually now that
often I check the website. So
no, that's okay. But and there's a reason I know this. And also that reminded me of another piece of news, which is also on the website. We're really trying to push this stuff, you can tell. The King and Queen of the Ring are coming back at the next Super Show in Jeddah, which I believe is May 7th. WWE is having their return to Jeddah, and don't look too closely at that face under the title, but that's mine. It's an ugly face that only a mother can love, and sometimes she's okay with it. So,
damn, I was just kidding.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so actually WWE's what we actually noticed is, or maybe I heard this in somewhere else, their next several events after WrestleMania are not in the States or even back in Canada. So Backlash is in Puerto Rico, which is technically a part of. No, wait.
It's a U.S. territory.
Territory, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's so confusing.
Money in the Bank is in England, and then
is it? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought you had seen that. Yeah, Money in the Bank is at the O2 or something over there.
I always want to be in that arena. I always want to go in that arena. It looks so cool.
And then King and Queen of the Ring is their Jeddah Super Show. So kind of going international for a bit after WrestleMania. Maybe trying to keep that interest going after what could be a little bit of a after all that. What's up, Bernsey? Yeah. Good to see you in there, buddy.
Bernsey.
Thanks for joining us as always.
Yeah.
All right. So WWE's got some events coming up after WrestleMania, which is a little bit further down the road. But other than that, I don't think there was any huge wrestling news. One thing I find interesting as we're getting closer, I don't think they've announced Hall of Fame inductees yet, which usually they've started by now, I think.
Yeah,
Unless I've missed something, so
it's
that'd be interesting.
no. I heard rumors of who could go in.
Yeah,
I've seen the interview with Jazz multiple times how she wants to go in, and
yeah,
the fact that she's not in there yet, I actually was shocked. I was like, wait, she's not in yet? That's
yeah.
stupid, but whatever.
That
But yeah,
is
so
not smart.
yeah, no one's been announced yet. I know one name people have been trying to throw around is Batista because it looks like he really is done wrestling,
Yeah,
and in his defense, yeah, he should be. He's killing it
yeah,
in the acting game. So you don't need to step in the ring no more. We got plenty of good years from him, and he's done his time. He's more than welcome to bow
yeah.
out and never come back because I mean, I can't get over that how good an actor he is though, man. It's
Yes,
like he's
he is. He's really good. I forgot who it was. The director of one of his last movies, who's like, he's the greatest wrestler turned actor, and I'm not sure I can disagree.
yeah.
Um,
It was the M Night Shyamalan movie. Knock at the Cabin. I think it was
Knock
Knock
at
at
the
the
Cabin
Cabin.
Door, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he's killing it, and he's not.
yeah,
He's shying away from the typical wrestler roles, like
yeah,
Cena and Hogan and Rock. And I love
yeah.
The Rock, and that guy's the biggest movie star in the world. But we kind of joke he plays The Rock in every movie he's in.
More or less.
Whatever the
Yeah,
character is, it's The Rock. And Batista's
yeah.
been very diverse
Well,
in his different
ever
roles.
yeah. When we got a dramatic Drax out of him, I was just
Yeah,
blown away. I was like, because the first Guardians movie was so great, but
yeah,
my favorite moment of him acting wise was in the second movie with him and Mantis.
yeah,
I remember that scene where they're sitting and talking outside. I was thinking like, "Hey, yo, I did not watch this movie to feel things, and this movie was all feel things, and I don't like it." Coincidentally, that's when I also started liking Nebula as a character, and I hope after Guardians
yeah,
3 she sticks around because that I just love Karen Gillian as the actress because
yeah.
ever since Doctor Who, she's like one of my favorite companions ever. I love
Right.
her in Doctor Who. So
And not to talk about not to turn this into the Geekcast, but I think Nebula had like the best arc of any character in that in those first phases of movies. Because like, where she went, I started watching Super on that.
yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because she told me that yesterday. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Supernatural's a great show, Bernsey, and you are gonna learn to. I mean, I'm sure you already love the song, but yeah, "Carry On My Wayward Son" is definitely their anthem.
Absolutely.
Um, there was some other news that we popped up. The Monster Factory is getting like a special or a documentary, I
It's
think, on Apple
yeah.
TV.
Yeah. The trailer did come out. Some I think it was either you guys sent it to me or I just no, you guys I found it on a
Yeah,
there it is.
there it is. Can we play a trailer in our thing? Do we get?
I don't really care
We're about
what
to find out.
anyone
There
thinks
it
I
is.
should be doing. All I want to do is wrestle.
When I first started with the Monster Factory, I said to myself, like, if I got one person to the WWE, I'll be happy.
Danny Cage, you have this school at the Monster Factory.
He teaches you everything, how to do the cameras, be a referee, build a ring.
Whenever we're doing something in here, you do it 100%.
I was working in one of these dead-end jobs. As soon as I walked in, I was like, this is awesome.
The rush of being in a wrestling ring is like nothing else.
Professional wrestling is an eclectic melting pot of misfits.
I mean, I'm from Philly, so an underdog is a hungry dog.
Part of me didn't want to call myself Twitch, but how many wrestlers do you know not only have Tourette's, but are like open about it?
Professional wrestling is a very hard industry to make it in. The odds are against you.
I mean, there's thousands of wrestlers every day just trying to get tryouts. But I've gotten more people there than any other coach in the world.
I could either walk out as champion, or I could go back to flipping burgers.
But we have 40 students. They still have to get signed. And they still have to get better. Let's go.
My body isn't what it used to be. I saw this goddess crumble.
you were good. Right now, you're not.
It's just been an off night. There's a lot of stuff happening.
I tried to quit, and Dan didn't let me. I have just constant fear.
Path to paradise begins in hell. And if you're going through hell, keep going.
Go!
Oh, God.
She got invited for a WWE tryout.
Wrestle for the WWE? Hell, that's the dream.
Make sure they don't kill each other. Or if they do, just clean up.
I love that line.
Yeah, so there you
I love
go.
that line.
If you're a wrestling fan, if you've got Apple TV, that seems like checking out because if you go and look up Monster Factory's list of people, you saw a little bit in the promo where he's talked about he's gotten more people. There have been a lot of people who have gone through the Monster Factory. So that starts next week, March 17th on Apple TV Plus. So wrestling fans, check it out.
Yeah. Danny Cage is just a dude. He's always active on social media too, so he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I was wanting to meet him too. He's on the list of people I want to meet.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was funny. I love the line of the guy saying it's WWE, that's the dream. But for a lot of people, I wonder how true that still is. I'm not trying to put down WWE or nothing, but how many guys now just want to go to like AEW or Japan, and if they get WWE, fine, but they want to go to those places instead.
I think overall, I would say it's still a majority. In my mind, I think the majority would still say WWE.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think
you're probably
think
right.
it's changed. Like I don't think it's 90-10 anymore, but I still think it's like 75-25, 80-20. And I think I would assume after a lot of people get through stuff or go through it, they realize maybe they have better chances in some of those other places because WWE is a very specific. It's not always about how good you are in the ring.
True.
They look for a lot of other things first, and then and I mean that kind of wanes and goes and stuff. But I think it's changed. But I still think they're the majority.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's cool, huh? It'd be cool if 10 or 15 years we see something like that for hybrid.
Oh, that'd be awesome. They're doing pretty good.
So cool.
Speaking of which, great segue, Tommy, to our kind of new segment where we talk about upcoming local events. Which, in all honesty, we had just started doing that this past year a lot on our own because me and Tommy would go to things, and so we figured we might as well make it an official segment.
And to be fair, it was just my way to plug BOW, so I can try to help get people to come to the show.
Yeah, my way to talk about Mission Pro, which I fell in love with this past year, and then the stalwart, the pillar of San Antonio wrestling, RCW, who just keeps chugging along.
Of Texas
like that trade in 2023. I can't believe JC trusted me to host the show. No, I didn't get my
damn it! I hate that one worked. I really hate that one worked. I really hate that one worked. Damn it.
All right, so locally, it's kind of the same show as we mentioned last week. Hey, what's up, Jason? Ooh, Athena versus Willow. Gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, that was on Honor Club.
So Branded Outlaw just had their show March 4th, with Tommy we'll talk about in a minute. March 18th, the Hybrid Experience. It's actually the road to Hybrid Mania 3, and they do have several matches announced. We have a 6-man tag of Zakai Living, Eric Walker, and Devin Carter versus the Texas Treach with Diego Rene. For those who didn't go to the last Hybrid show a couple weeks ago, Diego Rene turned heel, joining the Treats, turning on. Who did he turn
David
on?
Kidd?
Yeah, David Kidd. There you go. That's right.
Well, everybody, I assumed it was David Kidd because everyone turns on David Kidd. I feel like at this point, I should just do it because I was like, I feel left out. So
is he the Sting of Hybrid?
I gotta believe that. Yes, at this point, I really do.
Also, which should be a good match, which I was looking forward to seeing eventually in Mission Pro, but we're going to see it in Hybrid first. Casey Blackrose versus JP Harlow. And as we've talked about before, Yeah, and this is the JP Harlow, the variant that's in hybrid and RCW. So a little more of a face, a little more of a Freebird, one half of H2 Easy. I'm just that's what that's what I see.
It's just I love it. It's just the variant thing. It's hilarious.
Well, I sent you that post earlier. I didn't mention that maybe later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is also no, that's for RCW. Yeah, so that's another match. But there's a 3-way women's match, which is Gia Michelle versus Maddie Rankowski versus Key Vibes, and I believe that's for the RCW title, women's title that Key Vibes has. Correct?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Well, which is interesting because if Gia Michelle wins, that makes me wonder what's going to happen 25th at RCW, because I know that there was a match that was
So they kind of talked about the last show that a lot of the things happening at the hybrid show will lead in effect into things for the RCW Mania, which speaking of which, RCW Mania is the following weekend, March 25th. I know they've announced several of their matches as well already, and I don't have that pull up at the moment.
So I have a couple of those pulled up.
Okay.
I know the main event because they set this up at the Rumble Royale,
Right.
because that name was still hilarious to me, of Khan and Mysterious Q, which is going to be a banger. So you got Jesse James versus Stud Stash. You got Gregory James coming back to face off against Devin Carter.
It's actually Izzy James now. You're right.
Izzy James. I will never not.
No, I know. I
said
said same thing here.
But you know the funny part is I do it to him in person all the time, and I think he laughs. He's like, I keep forgetting that you were people who still knows me by that name, and I'm like, dude, I keep forgetting that that's not your name anymore.
Here we go. So here's Jesse James versus Stud Stash.
Yeah, we got that was what I was gonna bring up next. International champion. I hope Ryan Davison wins for the love of God, because I'm so sick of Anthony Andrews.
Which means he's a good heel, man.
This is the match. There are no losers in this one. At least not for the fans. Claudia Desolis and Vanity for the Phoenix Championship. Who wins?
Which
I do.
I believe the Phoenix title is vacant, correct? Due to an injury.
Yeah, Shiva has
Jason.
Jason. I lost. Dude, yeah, I gave up. It's like having a city full of big shows. just heel 1 week, babyface the next. Anyway, but yeah, there's that, and I think that's all. There's
the main event you were talking about. Mysterious Q versus Khan.
I don't think they have a graphic for this one yet, but I know Maddie challenged Key Vibes to an I Quit match for the.
You're right. I saw that. I saw that on social media as well.
There was a video. I don't think they have a graphic for that yet. But Maddie needs to be more careful of. Yeah, Jason. Actually, for this show, this could be a banger after banger show.
Giving them the Sheamus.
I think Maddie needs. Yeah, but the word thing about Maddie is I have to hope she outran Allison Kay, because given her last video, I don't know if she got out of that hallway in time.
Look, guys, we have talked about this before. Don't play this clip yet. If you do not follow Maddie Rankowski on social media, go do it, because if nothing else, the Mondays side character special or interview, whatever it's called now, are hilarious. They've been for about 2 months or so. Her latest one, and so the latest one was Allison Kay. I think we talked about this, Tommy, but if you didn't see it, in the match, which she had, I think, down in Corpus, she has bought a stamp that says side character, and she's stamping people, and she had Allison Kay like tied up with her arms into the ring post, was stamping side character on her. So that's what was on her forehead when she did the little interview. And Maddie running down what looks like a hotel hallway, just screaming no further questions.
No further questions.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's so funny to see her like this now, because I remember when she first got her first. I think it was Galactic Pro when Rudy Russo was still doing that.
Oh God, yeah.
Before the pandemic. And she was bright-eyed and, brand new, and hi to the crowd and everyone, and so happy to be there. And now, I'll just say this: Roche Chanel is a terrible influence. Yes, I said it. She's gonna snap. She's gonna throw something else at me at the next show. I know it. So,
Probably.
I'll never get over that candy cane thing. That was so funny.
That was great. And I know most of you that are watching right now are pretty much already into the local indie scene. But if you're catching this and you're not, this is exactly what makes your local wrestling indie scene so great. Is seeing these people progress over the years as you follow them, seeing the changes they make. Like I think JC talked about a couple episodes ago. We saw Athena when she was new and green. Okay, and this is not to be disrespectful to her at all, because well, we know she could kick my ass like she's kicking everyone's ass right now as ROH champion. But I just meant everyone starts there, and just like Tommy was saying about Maddie, she used to be kind of bright-eyed, but when they find it and you get to follow them, it is great. Yeah, Maddie was a 180. Jason's been through that too. See, I know Jason's been all over watching the indies. But yeah, seeing that progression and seeing them, and then honestly, like these people that like everyone who's in here. Oh, what's up, Legacy? Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Legacy, what's up, man?
Appreciate it. We'll be talking about some of your stuff too later.
For sure.
Yeah, like the wrestling community at these indie shows is also really cool because that's where we get Jason in here, Burnsy, all the most of these people that join us week after week, and that's really like why we fell in love with going to the indie shows. They're small and intimate, and you get to interact with people. If you're not awkward like me, you usually wind up making friends like JC and Tommy did. So yeah.
That's how we got half the interviews we've got, because we know the people that we've been interviewing so far.
Yeah, literally.
There is one more show that I'm considering going to tomorrow, but I may not make it but it's in Dallas. It's the only thing.
Okay.
It's VIP's Guess Who's Back show, because after they had some controversy with not them, but one of the venues they were at, they had a problem with one of the guys who worked there. The less said about that, the better, because that guy's a jackass. Let's just say it involves some inappropriateness towards Alejandro Leon. And long story short, all of Texas was about to converge. This dude had had Lou Gotti of all people not talked everyone down. So, but homie might have got stomped out. But they're doing a they're doing a show. Guess Who's Back, with the main event being for the VIP championship, a steel cage match between Brian Keith and Shane Taylor.
Oh,
because
I can see where you want to go.
Because who needs brain cells? Just that should be a punishment for guys who do that kind of thing to women. They have to fight Brian Keith and Shane Taylor inside a steel cage. That should be their punishment. Because I guarantee the prison will be nothing after that.
Like what was that? What was that MTV show where they would do that to bullies? Like get in the ring for.
Oh, what was that show? I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
But I like that
show.
idea.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But it's a whole card, because Jonathan Gresham is taking on Barrett Brown too at that show.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
it's a whole show, and like I'll see how I feel in the morning, but I want to try to go. If I can't make it, I can't make it. But it's a stellar card. If you're in that area, go check it out.
Tommy, that just reminded me. I don't think we ever saw pictures from our almost road trip to New Orleans from Luke Hawk's bachelor party.
No, we didn't.
And that sounds like a show that definitely needed to be shared with the masses. So I'm going to have to do some research after the show.
Yeah.
If
you find anything in your research, please.
Well, for academic purposes, of course.
For academic purpose, of course. This is because we're trying to learn and get better at this job that we're doing. That's what it's for.
Anything you want to share about the BOW show?
Yeah. First of all, thank you to everyone who showed up, because so real talk. We really do go by show how the crowds are going to be. If it's a great crowd, fantastic. If it's a medium crowd, great. But the crowd we had on Saturday, there were a lot of people. Thank y'all so much. And man, they had us rolling. There's this family, had like 3 or 4 kids. And if they liked you, they didn't care if you were face or heel. They liked you. Misty Marks was a heel all night. Them kids didn't give a crap. They loved End of the World Party. They were the heels, and they booed Fly Deaf, and they were the faces. And man, I don't care. They were vocal. I was covering my mouth the whole time. Clint probably has me laughing on camera. But it was a great show. I gotta be honest with everybody. I think two of our best matches so far were on that show, and one of them was first. Miranda Gordy has been injured. She actually twisted her knee, I believe, at the last show. So we have an interim women. We have a new women's champion in Lady Bird Monroe. She won the match in a triple threat. BOW, and it was involving Misty Marks and our kid Ash. Yo, all three of them can go, and that got proved that night. As far as the BOW highlight reel, I gotta talk to Clint about that because we want to make one, but most of the footage is on his camera. Again, hopefully, if I get a new setup in a couple months, computer wise, I can do that. But I need a new setup first. Mine is not made for that. But another great match, and I think honestly one of our best ones ever was a tag team match. Wait, someone did that? That wasn't me.
Wait, but is this a recent one or is this just?
No, this should be the real. This should be the recent one because this is our first. Because like usually the last one was called April Shenanigans. Yeah, I didn't do this one. So I think somebody else must have.
Okay.
Yeah, let's play it. I'm in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
Baines took on Rodney Mack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did he fare? Yeah.
He lost. He lost. It was one of the greatest. It was one of the greatest moments all night. He lost. It was so fun to see.
So are they setting up any big things for their next show? Any big matches coming
up? The next show, yeah, actually Savage King will defend against Vic Endurance, the main event. But here's what I'll say. Also, and Jason's right, Fly Def is so good. Their match with End of the World Party also was a match of the night. So we had back-to-back 2 matches. I think we've had it best match we've had at BOW thus far. But Shane Taylor couldn't wrestle that night, right? So he actually didn't wrestle James Claxton. Vic Endurance ended up facing him. But Shane Taylor can cut a promo. I don't care if it's 100,000 people in the stadium. I don't care if it's the couple hundred maybe we had in that building. Shane Taylor cuts a promo like it is his, like he is on live TV and he can't make a mistake because that man is so damn good. He was calling out Claxton saying, "Where's the Claxton of old? Where's the old James Claxton? I want to fight that guy, not this guy." I was like, I looked at Terry. I said, "I feel uncomfortable and I want to leave now." I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. This might get personal real fast. So I think our next show is May 6th. May 6th. That's when the next show is, and I believe because Shane's cleared as of this coming weekend because of course he's wrestling Brian Keith. But I believe that's when they're going to have their match, and I might ask Clint, can we just go ahead and make it no DQ now? Let's just go ahead and get it out the way because let's just stop pretending like this isn't going to happen. But on a personal note, the show we had a special moment after intermission. Because as some people may have heard, some may not have. Alex Morosos, longtime indie referee for San Antonio and most of Texas, actually, he has actually retired from refereeing. He's so he said he might pop up every now and again, maybe, but he's like as for doing it consistently, he's
been doing it for so long.
33 years, I think they said.
Jesus.
Yeah, for real. And so so we got him Clint got him an award, and he got him two. One that's like a commemorative like fast food toy box. What's up, man? And the other is I don't know if you ever seen him do his 2 count. He does it like this. Clint found an award that does this and got that for him, and I was like, that's so cool. So it's great.
Awesome.
So, congrats on your retirement, Alex. I mean, easily one of the best referees ever. I don't care what promotion. I don't care where in the world. He's one of the best refs ever. And legitimately, and when I say that, I mean that because he legitimately does his job. Like he's actually make sure everyone's okay, and he can still interact with the crowd. And I laugh because there were some guys getting on Marty Green. And so when he counted a 2 count, because that was 3, he went like Marty said, that was 2, and kept refereeing.
I have memories of Alex reffing and the crowd, going. He go 2, they go 2, and then dos.
Yeah.
That's what I remember from some of those shows.
Oh yeah, old school times, but yeah. So congrats to Alex, well deserved.
That's awesome.
And just hope he enjoys his. Not have to worry about crashing into the mat or being beat up while someone tries to win a title every now and again.
Oh, Jason, look, you're on the show now, buddy.
Jason, you're on the show. You have made it.
That's with Lady Bird, right? Or is that
That's Lady Bird. Yeah,
Okay,
I have pictures of her by herself with the belt that I didn't send to anyone except Clint and her. So she's another one that I'm like, besides Misty Marks. Misty Marks, of course, we've seen, because that Lady Bird, I feel like is just starting to get some traction, and I really like where she's going. And our kid Ash, and I don't even think she's like, I think she might still be a teenager. I think, and like 18, 19, but she wrestles like she already has a good grad. Like she reminds me of Roxy, like super young, but already has a good grasp of what she's doing.
Right.
And that's good. And she's got End of the World Party with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that in terms of wrestling and
Jason, come on, buddy. We'll throw up my picture with Jasmine for last NPW show, and don't worry about it, buddy. You're good.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. Anyway, okay, you know what? That's all. The show was great.
All right, so just to finish off local indie news, Mission Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Element will have shows in April, so that's still a little bit of ways. The Mission Pro card is already
damn, are they
starting.
right next to each other? Crap. Okay.
Yeah, they're the same weekend.
I'm going to have no money after that weekend. Damn it.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. So Mission Pro, the champ is back. Genocide's defending. Jasmine Allure has a match now, so we can be happy. That is the Edge of Glory on the 22nd. Maybe still La Rosa Negra. We still got a lot of time to get a few more matches in there and make Tommy happy.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see La Rosa Negra wrestle. I'd like to see her walk. I like to see her talk. I like to see her generally exist in any way, shape, or form.
And La Rosa Negra, if you would ever love to come on the podcast, Tommy would love to interview.
Please, God. Sorry.
If we need some translation help, I'm sure Tina wouldn't mind helping out. If we need to go back and forth a little bit, so
yeah, I would actually go back and try to learn the Spanish correctly if I could get to interview her. Anyway.
Me and Tommy will be at that show in April, but that's still a little bit of ways. So we will talk about that more in depth as we get closer to those shows. All right. So the big pay-per-view this past weekend, AEW Revolution, which for as much as people have talked about things not going AEW's way in recent months, I haven't even. I will be full disclosure. Haven't watched the entire pay-per-view. I haven't seen it all, but just from the results and the clips and everything that was shared online, look like an amazing pay-per-view. It's Burnsy.
Okay,
and
first off,
he's not here to appreciate the Weird Al. Oh. Guys, this is why we love the wrestling community, man. Because
good legit, people. Man. It's like that was hilarious, and also what Jason said, I 1000%. But no, refocusing in terms of Revolution. No, like I love how everyone complained about the build, but then when the show happened, I think the most consistent comment was, "Damn, that was actually really good."
Yeah. So you've seen parts of it, or most of it, or some of it. You said so. I'll start going through the card and kind of reading results, and then if there's anything you want to throw in there about it, go ahead. So there was a pre-show match, which I'm sure you loved if you got to see it, which was Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers versus Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes Josh Wood and Tony Nese. I heard that was really fun. I didn't get to see that either, but Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers. I mean, what's not to love about that?
I mean, it's Mark wrestling period still at this point.
Yeah,
is just an undeserved blessing because I fully expected him to not be near a wrestling ring for like a year at least. And I was completely okay with that. That's not me saying like, he's going to take a year. No, I was like, hey, take all the time you need. Don't come back if you don't want to. But no, I think this is like his happy place. This is what, cuz like his damn promo the Wednesday before messed me up. When he said, "Oh, my Jay ain't here no more. He's upstairs. He's with the Lord." I was like, "Damn it, Mark! I don't watch wrestling to feel." So that's and then the Lucha Brothers came out and said, "We always have our friends back." I was like, first of all of you shut up. All of you shut up right now. I did not watch the show to feel things. This is what y'all just shut up right now. No, it's. I mean, but it's so cool, and it makes sense that Mark would tag with any tag team at this point because, I mean, like the Briscoes made so many tag teams just by being in the ring with them. They made even a great tag team like FTR look even better simply because they had the match together. As good as FTR we already know that they are. They were in the ring with the Briscoes and they look like instead of $1 million like they usually do, both teams look like $10 million each. Right. And immediately to the thought where you're thinking, who the hell couldn't make money with these guys? How did Vince fumble the bag so bad?
Well, that's an entire other WrestleCast.
Yeah,
that could take 2 or 3 hours. So let's not go down
at least. Yes, at least. So but no, it was like I said. Anytime I see Mark Briscoe wrestling, it's a good day. Still, of course, still sad about Jay. I always will be. But anytime that Mark can get in the ring and be his crazy redneck the chicken self, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, and then to kick off the show, we have speaking of someone we've seen grow up in wrestling, Ricky Starks defeat Chris Jericho by pinfall with the JAS ban from ringside.
Almost didn't stop Sammy Guevara for whatever sense that made.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sammy was doing. I was like, so you want him to get disqualified? Okay, cool. But actually Andretti flew out of, I think, the crowd.
Yeah. And I think they're fighting on Rampage this Friday.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I'm honestly just surprised Jericho actually took a second loss.
That kind of shocked me too. I was rooting for Ricky, but I was surprised that Jericho. And did you see? There was a clip of how he blocked the Judas effect.
That was
I like that. I was like that was cool. I like that. That protects the move and makes Ricky look super smart. So.
And then for Ricky moving on Dynamite, just to kind of go down that road, he gets attacked by Juice Robinson under the Bullet Club banner.
Which shocked a lot of people, me included, because here's what's funny about that. I thought I was the only one. I was like, isn't he out of Bullet Club? And everyone said the same thing. I was like, okay,
mentioned that on commentary. Yeah. So be an interesting story that they may be going on with.
So there was a slight backstage interview I saw on Twitter later that he said Bullet Club is international now and we're not tied to any one company. And I confirmed that later because I looked on Wikipedia and apparently, despite being in WWE, Gallows and Anderson are still considered Bullet Club.
What do you mean? They're the club, the one club, the only one that matters.
You know what?
But I think that's cool. I like that idea and it works well for Bullet Club to keep them fresh and kind of move them around and stuff like that.
Well, if David Finlay really is the new leader, him and Juice are legit best friends, so that kind of does make a lot of sense. So
that should be good.
Oh yeah.
Getting on with Revolution, we have Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeating Christian Cage in a final burial match.
That was just fun. I just enjoyed seeing that. That was
and Jack Perry needs that. We've talked about this before. I think he needs to be pushed, start making his way toward that main event picture as one of their pillars and stuff. So I think that makes sense. House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, of course, with Julia Hart doing her best goth. I'm going to say girlfriend, but
I would say goth. That's not a good word to use.
Yeah.
Goth manager. I was going to say mistress.
Okay. But yeah,
I mean, it's not a bad word because it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But
no, but she did well in that character.
Yeah, I will say until the main event, that was easily my match of the night.
Yeah,
because
I can believe that.
Because I love the idea of because like watch when I do this and which these things it doesn't belong here. Matt and Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King.
I mean,
or should I say Brody King? Like, good lord.
Yeah,
it's like
it
hey,
looks.
You get down here.
And of course, the House of Black defeated the Elite for the 6-man tag team championships. So House of Black are trio champs and look to be setting up a potential 3-way trios match. 3x3, yeah. On Dynamite, JAS came out in full team, so like 7 of them now. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. And they challenged the House of Black with, I think it's Jericho, Sammy, and Daniel Garcia, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they challenged House of Black, but the Elite come out, and somehow in the Elite logic, because the match was really good, even though they lost the belts, they should be #1 contender, which I found kind of an odd statement. But then the House of Black just came out and was like, both of y'all come for them. And they just kind of stood in the middle of the ramp. So that was really cool. Put those 9 guys in the ring and give me the chaos that is those kind of matches. Sure. I'll take that.
Well, I'm going to bring this up later when we get to the 4-way tag team match and the craziness of that. I can't help but laugh at everyone who still thought just because those guys took time off, they were just suddenly done. Like, I think people have gotten so used to no one taking time off in WWE, they think that when wrestlers take time off, that just means that they're unhappy or leaving a company. I think that just means sometimes they just need time off. And let me put it this way: no disrespect to John Cena, who wrestled for essentially what it was 10 years straight. You don't always have guys who can or want to do that. You have guys who want to wrestle for a stretch and maybe take a month off to sit in an ice bath because this stuff hurts. The match was great. Julia Hart took a V-trigger like a champ.
I saw that clip. And then Omega just
Omega shrugged was what sold it. But no, I respect the fact that she did that because it's like she's the heel. She's putting herself in the match. If she takes a hit, she takes a hit. But she took it sold it like a champ. And the more and more I see of her in this role, the more and more respect I have for her. So you big tummy.
I assume he's talking about when they think that they're done because they were gone for a bit. But all right, so continuing on, Jamie Hayter defeats Saraya and Ruby Soho by pinfall, after which Ruby joins Saraya and Toni Storm, which I didn't get to see the match, and I'm cool with Jamie Hayter retaining, but there's a logic flaw in this match. If Ruby joins afterwards, but Saraya and Ruby still lose to Jamie, that seemed like some not great planning on their side.
She kind of she kind of explained it on Dynamite, and I kind of saw her point.
No.
But
Like, yeah,
I get what you're saying, though.
I get why she turned, and in fact, she was kind of like those were true. Like,
it's kind of like when the heel says that you're like, ugh, wow, I kind of agree with
like,
that.
like Tony Schiavone was trying to go, oh, that's not all true, but like, no, a lot of those things were true. I remember her getting booed when she beat Statlander because everyone was on Statlander's side. I remember that kind of stuff. Yeah, so what she said wasn't wrong, but like logically speaking, it seems like they had planned this from before the match. So somehow they planned to be on each other's side, but they couldn't. And I think like they fought each other during the match, right? Ruby and Saraya?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So you know, I mean, I know wrestling is not the place for logic, but that just kind of makes me chuckle.
Well, here's how I look at it, because as a weird guy who writes a lot of stories, I kind of feel like it's one of the cases where I'm not on anyone's side yet until I've lost. Then I'm on that side.
Okay, see, if she would have said something like that, like after I got pinned, I realized I was on the wrong side, I might have bought that. It just seemed funny to me. But no, what she said about like all the times like at first, because she was like, "You fans made this," and you're like, "Oh no, here we go with anytime they turn the baby face heel." But then all the points after that were.
But
legit.
then she started talking.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay, she's not wrong. Those were right.
You're like,
oh, Jason says.
Like,
Jason agrees with that logic. She made the decision after the match, and that's. If they would have said that, I'm good with that.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. You're like watching. Oh no, here comes another. It's all the fans' fault. Here we go with this speech. Then you're listening. You're like, damn. Actually, she got a really good point.
But she brought the actual receipts. My bad. I'm not making this up. As a teacher, if Tina was watching, she would understand. She had good documentation. She documented that crap. She made sure all of that was listed.
And I actually gotta give like AEW credit for that, because the receipts of having that, I mean, you can complain all you want to about her turning heel. She wasn't wrong at any point, though.
As this story continues, Thunder Rosa coming back to side with Jamie and Britt, which that's what I'm so hoping. I hope she gets better in time for something like that.
From what I've heard, they're trying to set up a blood and guts match between the outsiders, let's just say, and the homegrown talent.
I would say they're making it the homegrown versus the non-homegrown talent, basically. But
of course, me, the stardom nerd, I would argue very much about Jamie Hayter, being homegrown. But whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, how homegrown do you want to go? I mean, we don't want to get too far into this, but Britt is like an original signee, but pretty much anyone else, even like Thunder Rosa, she was NWA, and I remember in some of those promos before, she was like, I think Britt was like, "Oh, you think just because you were fancy on NWA on YouTube, you can come over here?" And but I think in general, I like the idea of the group that's kind of been there for a while, at least building it, as opposed to some of these people they brought in later. So
I would argue also Athena. She probably joined the other side.
She would just knock everyone out. Didn't matter what side. So maybe not the safest thing. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, no. Actually, no. I like where you were going with that. No, keep talking. I'm not. I was gonna say the second you're wrong, I'll stop you. But you're not wrong yet. So go ahead.
She's like, no, I'm not choosing sides. I'm just busting hussies, so you know.
Oh, I hope she brings that word back some point.
I thought I heard her say it, but I may be wrong.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
You know what's funny? The first time she said it, I don't know if you were there, but I laughed so hard because I had heard the word hussy in so long, I almost forgot that people ever said it.
I mean, I don't know if I was at the specific one, but I don't doubt it. Like,
well, the first time I heard her say hussy, I just felt like I said, "Did she call someone a hussy?" So, because that was like the greatest word to me at that point. I was like, "Oh my god, I think I love her."
Yeah. Well, you said that anyways, but
no, I mean, well, yeah, she is a black chick in wrestling. I didn't have a choice. By all logic, all logic said you will love this woman. I was like, okay, logic, you make sense. So
Yes, sir, Brain.
Yeah.
All right. After the women's title match, we had the Texas Death Match between Hangman Adam Page and Moxley, which I kind of love that they just kept calling Texas Death. Like, not putting the match at the end. They're just like Texas Death. And I'm like, all right. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's how people think we execute our prisoners in Texas. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong.
I'm not going to touch that, but that's funny.
I'm kidding.
I know. Oh,
shut up, Bernsey!
Look, Bernsey, if she hasn't said anything about many of the things you said on this show, she's good.
She sat next to me at Mission Pro shows. Okay, come on, dude.
Yeah.
If I survive that, I'm okay.
And I know you say this is true about everybody, but I'm pretty sure La Rosa Negra is in love with your wife as compared to you. So.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like you're right. Everybody is in comparison to me, but yeah, no, like I don't know if you were there. She made me shoot a video asking the guy where she was. It was the.
Oh, I think I wasn't the one where she didn't. The one she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but when the guy wasn't there, Rosa Negra said, "Well, where's your wife at?" And I told her. She said, oh, "Turn your video on." I was like, "All right, cool." And she did the whole thing. It was like, "You need to come to the next show." I showed it to my wife, and she was like, "So when's the next show?" Look, because I said, "Please don't make me go back there without you."
And she hasn't missed since.
Nope.
Coming out of this Hangman match, though, it's been interesting the whole feud since Renee Paquette showed up in AEW.
Yeah.
She does like every interview just about, and she's done several with Hangman, and he's kind of he kind of apologized to her, which was interesting on Dynamite, because she's always real professional about it. They never made her like the hysterical wife or anything like that, which I think is good. Showing her in a strong light.
I think so too. I like that.
But he apologized, and then she asked, "Well, is it over with y'all too?" And he's like, "It is as far as I'm concerned," but then it wasn't. So,
yeah. Well, you know how I view Renee in that role when she's like, whenever she sees him, if she sees him backstage, she's probably just like this. I'll get the iodine.
Bandages, the iodine.
He walks in with the cutters for, babe, you got the hands him a first aid kit. Go away.
This year at work I had to do a stop the bleed training. And I'm pretty sure she's an expert in that. So
I'm more than positive she's like, John, can you make the baby a bottle? Look who I'm talking to. You're gonna set yourself on fire doing that. Move out of the way. Just hold her.
She walks in the kitchen. John, why did you have to blade to make a bottle? What was the point?
Wait, he's playing with their daughter, just like playing like doing a tea party. Oh, that's so cute, John. Why are you blading at the tea party? It's a tea party. It's not supposed to get violent.
But then
Mox
said,
what about the one in Boston? Not the same thing.
I was like, Mox just points to the stuffed animal in the right chair. Like, they attacked me. What do you want me to do? They attacked me with a teacup.
It's like, wait. I just thought of this. He points to 3 different stuffed animals. The Fluff Order over there, they jumped me. I couldn't call it the Blackpool Combat Club, and they jumped me. We're gonna have a 6-person tag match at the very next show.
Claudio said he only drinks coffee, not tea, so he didn't show up. Oh. All right, we're gonna have way too much fun with that.
I want to write this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write this down. But anyway, so back to the match.
So finishing up AEW's card from Revolution, Wardlow chokes out Samoa Joe, which was a cool little twist.
That was cool.
Then
I like that.
Apparently gets his rental car broken into that night, his gear and actual belt stolen, and then loses to Powerhouse Hobbs the next night. So the TNT title does not like to stay on people for too long. That's interesting.
It's Texas is my favorite match for Revolution. And Bernsey, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. That was It's very divisive among fans right now, but I don't blame you for that. I like his
which one's the best match or that match itself?
No, that match itself is just divisive among fans about although Taz, of course, he defended it to a few people because it's like, you don't have, it's not one that happens all the time, and plus they're in a blood feud, man. Blood feuds, and it happened like that sometimes. So, but the chokeout thing with Wardlow was cool. I really do think that the TNT title is just like kind of like this 24/7 DDT Iron Man belt mixed with the never open weight championship. It's kind of like if you're tough enough to have it belt, but also it switches a lot. So
and it's not too bad because right now the All Atlantic title, which is apparently next week being renamed the International title, from what I understand. Orange Cassidy's been on a nice little defense streak for that for a couple months now. So, at least maybe they're keeping that one for a little while on somebody, and then in a minute we'll talk about the one that's probably going to be on somebody for a while.
And let's be honest. For the All Atlantic belt, the first champion was Pac. Hard to go wrong with that one.
Yeah, no kidding. So, last two matches here at Revolution. The second to last was the 4-way tag match, which was the Guns keeping the belts against the Acclaimed, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
I follow Heaven Rain on TikTok, and she asked, "Why is Jeff Jarrett still winning matches?"
Well, at least he didn't win this one.
Yeah, thank God. We never hear the end of it.
And then the main event, which from all accounts was perhaps one of the best Iron Man matches with action going almost the entire time. MJF defeats Bryan Danielson in sudden death. So I have it right here. He wins overall in the Iron Man match 4-3. Danielson took the first pinfall about 25 minutes in with the Busaiku knee. And then he got a 0-2 lead with the MJF getting disqualified for a low blow. But then in a weird, I didn't know you could do this in Iron Man matches, MJF rolled him up, got a pin, pinned him again immediately afterwards, and tied it up 2-2. I always thought there was a small amount of time that had to pass after it, but maybe not.
I understood that way as well, but I think he probably took advantage of the confusion of the night and just did that. So
I guess so. And again, it's MJF, and his character is best when he's. What I like right now, because I'm not always. I like the guy, but I feel like some people say he's infallible and is doing everything perfect. But I love the fact that he really has improved his actual wrestling game.
Yeah, same here.
But so like he'll put on good matches, but he's still going to cheat. So when he says I'm the best wrestler, it's like, okay, you're not the best wrestler, but you're on your way. Like you're getting really good. So, props to that. MJF hit a heat seeker to take a 3-2 lead. Danielson got in the Regal stretch, which was a little bit of a shout out to his mentor, which, speaking of multiverses, in AEW multiverse, Regal is still in the hospital and may be in a hospital for years in a coma after MJF attacked him. And then in overtime, from what I understand, because I didn't see it, but I'd read stuff, they had to give oxygen, or they looked like they were giving oxygen to MJF. And then when Tony Khan came down and did the this is not going to end, was it Gorilla Monsoon, WrestleMania 12? This isn't going to end on a tie. We're going to go to sudden death. He hit Danielson with the canister of oxygen, and then eventually tapped him out to the LaBelle lock just to add insult to injury. Because what else does MJF do but insult?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, this does nothing but increase my hate for MJF. So I guess it's good that way. But because how dare he? But To pull back the curtain a bit, you got to give Bryan Danielson all the props in the world, man.
Right.
He's one of the guys who can make anyone look like $1 million.
He's really good at what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the most unselfish guys in pro wrestling at this point, because he did that for like Kofi Kingston, that WrestleMania when Kofi Mania was like at its peak. You know, he did it for MJF. Now he's got to be one of the most unselfish guys in all of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Rolando, what's up, man?
Hey, Rolando, what's up, man? And as far as I'm concerned, in real life or real life, whatever, I still think Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world. And I'll put him up with Omega and Ibushi and anyone else you want to throw up there. Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Roman Reigns in a different sense. To me, it's Danielson, but that's just my personal preference. So.
Well, Danielson, he's got to be one of the best because there's a wrestling award named after how good he is. The Technical Wrestling Awards for Wrestling Observer Newsletter was called that until the man won it damn near 10 years in a row, and Meltzer just said, "Screw it, it's the Daniel Bryanson Award."
Although, be careful, Tommy, if you're going to start talking about awards, MJF's going to crap on that because apparently in the middle of the match he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Meltzer. Did I lose a star for that? Do I not get a 5-star now?"
Yeah. I feel like Meltzer's like everyone else on the internet. They claim to hate MJF. I mean, I feel like MJF's like everyone else on the internet. They hate Meltzer so much, but can't stop talking about him.
But they hang on the star ratings like for everything.
Yeah, not just that. Like everything he reports, it's like Meltzer reported this and he's so wrong. Why are you listening to him if you claim not to care so much? I use this example all the time. I don't care about certain celebrities. You know how I don't care about them? I don't even know what they're doing. And I'm not saying I hate them or want them to die. I'm just saying I don't know what they're doing because I'm ignoring them.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? If the Kardashians are doing something, okay, as long as it's not illegal and they're not hurting anyone, good for them. I don't care.
I don't care about all of them or their younger siblings. All I know is I'm Team Selena, so,
I mean, well, she can sing, so she has a talent. So,
and she's a Spurs fan, and
honestly, that's right, she is.
And not to go over that, she really did win me over with Only Murders in the Building on Hulu.
I've seen clips of her on that, and I did not know she was that funny.
Her with
I remember
Steve
her
Martin and Martin Short. Martin Short, I think so.
Martin Short, yeah.
Hilarious. It is a really good show, and So, anyways, we're getting off topic.
I keep meaning to watch that, but I never got to. But if you
ever
can
get a chance,
with
it's
those
actually
two,
really funny.
Yeah, if you can hold on with those two, you're amazing. But but back to the match. I really do think this was something defining for MJF. Like, for the rest of his career, this has got to be something that he can hold on to.
Oh, and he'll hold it over everyone's head. Don't worry, he'll remind us of it.
I'd rather. Well, I mean, match wise, it was great, but I'd rather pretend from now on it didn't happen and he doesn't exist, but just because for my own sanity and mental welfare. But there's mental. That's because MJ's personality reminds me of too many people that I like to forget exist anyway. So anyway,
Burnsy feels the same way you do, Tommy.
That's because Burns is a real one. That's why.
That's true. All right. So even though we have just spent a good amount of time talking about Revolution, I will give our pick results in a minute. We are not going to rate it today. When JC comes back next week, we're going to get his thoughts a little bit of it. We'll kind of mention any other things that we may have missed or not thought about. And then we'll give our official ratings next week when JC's here to pull it together with the full WrestleCast. But for results real quick, Tina, who I believe picked MJF, of course, went 1-0. Me and Tommy went 5-3, and JC went 6-2. So JC takes this one by one in the match. So congrats, JC. We will give you your flowers next week, and we can all rate.
I'm tired of him not being on shows or being on something and being right. Just like with I'm still mad about the Mission Pro thing. Like, legitimately, still mad about that. Like, I'm so upset he was right about that.
Look, if I can use that to get those two things he said the other week to come true in the next year, then I will forgive him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bailey headlines WrestleMania 40 in one of the nights. Claudio beats MJF for the belt. Then I'm fine, and I'll accept it.
I'm with you on that one.
All right, guys. So we are going to our 1-minute warning. And I think we're going to kind of have a joint 1-minute warning today. Is that what we agreed then?
Indeed.
Okay. So I'll kind of start off the idea, and then Tommy will join in, and we'll share why this is joint. I don't know. Do we have is this a countdown steady? 5.
I believe it's a count.
Let me see what we're about to do. Okay. So we have been going to Mission Pro for quite a while. We've talked about how much we enjoy it. The amount of talent they bring in. Our thought is it's time for them to have a secondary women's title. The amount of talent they have and the consistent people they have coming in, I think it would be great. Tommy?
Yeah, I mean they're starting to get mainstays. I mean, Tiffany Nieves, I thought would only be like maybe her second or third time there, but now this is like going to be her third or fourth, really, and she's being consistent. You have people like Alejandra Nayan. You have of course the
MJ
tag champions,
Santana, Emmy have starting to become mainstays
Santana,
there.
Emmy, the Bougie Reality. I mean, Bougie Reality. They could have. I could see them with Maddie or Shay having another
Individual,
belt. You have people who. I think Mission Pro started to become that place for women's wrestling that everyone wants to get on. You know,
we're in sudden death. We're not stopping there.
Where's my oxygen tank? Hit Mike's on that. But yeah, no, I don't see why they couldn't have a second belt, and it could be something that it could be just as important. It could as the as the main world title, which I'm calling it the world title, the Mission Pro world title at this point, because you can't have people who have it like Genocide and Holly Dead and La Rosa that have it and not be considered a world belt.
Yeah, and Red Velvet's been down in MPW in a while since she was with AEW, but hey,
the first couple shows post when the pandemic was starting to lighten up a little bit, the first couple shows she was there a lot. And I think the main reason I think because La Rosa Negra trained her, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's a regional teacher. So that was one reason why she was there. But hey, if we can get her to not that, because then freaking JP Harlow will win it and I'll have to listen to that for the rest of my life. Or even worse, Casey Black Rose will win it and I'll have to hear about that for the rest of my life. No intergender belt because I will never live that down.
Well, he's already got the MPW Cup, which, as far as I can tell, is a defendable title. I thought it was a win and you just carried around, but apparently he can defend that. So they do kind of have that. And also,
sorry, go ahead.
No, we talked about this last time too. If the champ and Holiday want to come back and take out the men's Revolution, I'm okay with that. Not for the title. If they just want to come and Kylan King, you want to do that trio?
Sorry, 6 to midnight. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we think they're starting to grow talent. They're starting to have those people that are there on a consistent basis. I think it might be worth having a secondary title. Just our opinion. Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Sorry, I just thought of Holly Dead, Genocide, Kyla King. I was like, Team Powerhouse. That's got to be their team name. Team Powerhouse. Yeah. It's like because short of having a team of the Bloodline against them, what team they could go against House of Black for all I care, and I still think it'd be an even match.
I mean, yeah, I take my chances with that team.
Wait, they go against House of Black and Malachi's like, I think we could take them. Then looks at Holiday, but that one scares me. Brody, she's all yours.
No, I feel like in that situation, Malachi would be like, Julia, get her.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that scene in Ghostbusters. Well, she doesn't scare us. Go get her, Julia. Julia's like, bitch, what the hell? And Julia be like, she is a foot taller than me. I am not going over there.
Everyone's a foot taller than you go.
She's like, hence why I'm the valet. Thank you for proving my point.
Excellent.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm gonna try to tag Brian and Thunder Rosa in this, and just like, hey guys, second singles belt, yay!
Question mark.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So normally the 1 minute warning is the end of our show, but we've got a little bit more today because, as you know, Countdown City WrestleCast is under the umbrella, if you will, of Countdown City Geeks, which we've been obviously the sister podcast to the Countdown City Geekcast for a long time. But as you may have known, when we mentioned the website earlier, we have grown and brought in many other YouTube shows and people to be under Countdown City Geeks, including Legacy of Nerd, who joined us in here earlier, Kenobi's Bunker, Steady's involved with the Ghostbusters group, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting. And they've been doing some really good things recently and this weekend coming up. Tommy, on Sunday, you, along with a couple other guys, went up to Hill Country Fan Fest, or their con up in New Braunfels, and you got to interview two of the Power Rangers. Tell us about that. Look, there we go.
There's me with Brendan Mejia. First of all, let me just say, anytime I get to meet Action Power Rangers, it's just meeting someone who helped shape my childhood, even from the newer seasons, because the newer seasons are building off what the first series did. And here's the funny part: when I got to talk to Brendan Mejia, I watched Dino Charge, but I didn't know as much about it and him. So I didn't know if I'd be able to, have an interview with him. But I got to talk to him before we ever did the interview, and he is such a nice guy. So is Nikki Baris, by the way. I want to make sure I make that clear. She's super nice too. But I'm gonna talk about her for a different reason in a second. But Brennan is such a nice guy that I was like, I gotta interview this guy. I gotta talk to this guy because he's a fan just like us. If you guys watch the interview, you'll find out what I mean by that. Please watch the interview. He's such a nice guy, and he just has such a positive energy about him. And it's like, he's a fan. He's a fan like any Power Rangers fan, and I really mean that in the nicest way. Good dude, nice dude, and I totally was a thrill to talk to him. I hope I get to do it again someday. I hope to make it to MorphiCon. I really do one day, and I get to do that. Burnsy, yes, 100%. I still say that to just motivate myself sometimes. Anyway, but when it comes to Nikki Baris, I have to explain something first. When NPR ended and went into Zeo, Aisha, who was the former Yellow Ranger, she was the second Yellow Ranger after Tui Trang, may she rest in peace. And then when Power Rangers went to Zeo, Nikki Baris came in, and as the character Tanya, and she became the Yellow Zeo Ranger. I remember the episode where Nikki Baris debuted because in the storyline of Power Rangers, the world had been technically like kind of like a reverse thing, like so everyone was younger, and they were all getting their ages back. So when Tanya's character first got to the command center, she was a kid. When time got reversed back to how it's supposed to be, that's when the teenage version of her showed up. And I remember when Nikki Baris turned around. And I had to be like 7 or 8, and I still said, "Whoa, dude." To this day, man, so the fact that I got any sentences out of my mouth talking to her, 7-year-old me is proud of me because I should not have been able to talk at all, like true stuff. Because I had the biggest crush on her back in those days. Like, oh my Lord. Like, because I remember my mom got on me. She's like, what'd you say? Nothing. I get it off, mother.
I said, good power kick there, Power Rangers. Beat them up.
Yeah, I said, wow, next season's gonna be incredible because that really helped black girls in it.
Wow.
But no, she was super nice too. And you can also check out her stuff at Power Rangers Playback that she does with I can't remember her name. That they do it together, talk about old Power Ranger stuff. They review old toys, look at old episodes. It's a great show because they interview a lot of the old cast as well. Great show. She's so nice, she's so sweet. A huge thrill for me, man. And I want to thank legit thank Ted, thank all the guys over the Geekcast for allowing me that opportunity because this is something that me as a kid would never have dreamed would be happening, that I get to actually interview them. Jason, feel free to laugh, dude. I still live out the dream. But yeah, no.
Steady, we do need to update that watermark there, though, buddy.
No. True. But yeah, it was a great moment for me as both a fan and doing this, and so it's just great to do, and really appreciate it. Yeah, it was great, and can't wait to hopefully get to do it again this coming weekend at Phenomenal Con.
Yeah,
Well,
and
from
that's what I was.
Expo. Yeah.
That's what I was going to throw out next. Is continuing on the Power Rangers. This weekend at Wonderland's Mall of America, there is a huge, more phenomenal. So this was just last weekend was just a Hill Country Comic Con, and they just happened to
Yeah.
have some Power Ranger people there. This weekend at Wonderland's Mall of America, it is all Morty. It is all Power Rangers, not Mighty Morphin. It's all
Yeah.
a bunch of different ones. But it's more
Yeah.
phenomenal. It's I believe Saturday and Sunday. Tons of
Yes.
of people there. Steady, I don't know if you have the. There we go. More phenomenal expo. Just tons of actors and characters from different ones will be there. I don't even know as much about this, so I don't know if Tommy knows more. But I'm sure he does about some of these. But if you're interested, or if you've been into them at any point, go check it out. Should be a blast.
I will say the funny part is I don't know as much about the newer seasons, but I am interested to talk to who I can talk to. But on the 12th, I believe David Yost, the original Blue Ranger, will be at Dragon Slayer, I believe, from 12 to 4.
Right.
But I actually have met him before. He is a super nice guy. Another guy who loves the fans. So yeah, if you guys can get over to More Phenomenal, get over to meet him. I really do think, like, I haven't had a bad experience yet meeting one of the former Power Rangers. Like, every single time I've met one, it's like they really appreciate the fans. I really think it's like a case of, it's like, I don't think they fully know what they meant to us, because for them it's an acting gig, and I get that, I really do. But for some of us, it was just like, hey man, when we wanted some real life superheroes, you guys were it. That's all we had.
Yeah.
So they're super cool. It was just awesome, and yeah, man. The interviews. I'm still sitting here like thinking, man, I can't believe that I did that. So
no, it's awesome, and I don't blame you, man. That's the way I felt after interviewing DiBiase and the other one, which we weren't unable to get the video right for. But yeah, and then so all this stuff, guys, check it out on Countdown City Geeks. It's a whole world of different things. We got articles on there. The Power Rangers just happens to be stuff that's been coming up recently. We're trying to line up some interviews with some local people that we talk about on the show. Those are in the works. And then our other groups, other companies are continuing to look at different cons and what I've really been amazed about as now being a part of this Geeks and kind of seeing, not behind the scenes, but just finding out more things. I didn't realize how many celebrities of different genres and things are coming to the city like all the time. Like, I don't know if I mean, granted, I probably wasn't paying attention to all these things, but like the Power Rangers that have come through within the last 2 to 3 weeks now, including this weekend. The people that were just up at the con, Wonderlands of America that Steady and the Countdown City Geeks have been working with. They have some sort of celebrity thing almost every month. And I know there's that one coming up with Rex Manning Day, which cracks me up because I love Empire Records. I think there was another one coming later this year for retro, which has a bunch of 80s stuff that I was like, oh man, I can't. I've really enjoyed that. So keep an eye, go to Countdown City Geeks. We got information on all those things coming in, and we try to go to as many things as we can. There we go, Countdown City Geeks.
.com. Sorry.
All right. I think that's now the end of the show. So thank you guys for joining us. We really do appreciate it. This was a blast. Whoa.
Hey, we got music.
Jumping the gun. This is like the opposite of Nia Jax at the Rumble. The music hits before I just thought it was funny. Yeah, exactly, Bernsey. Thanks for joining us, guys. We do appreciate it. JC, we hope we did you proud, and I hope your little ones did good this evening. He'll be back with us next week. We will do a full review of AEW Revolution, like we talked about, and talk about all the other local news and any other wrestling stuff going on. So, as always, don't forget to join us on our Twitter at ccg_WrestleCast and on the YouTube, Countdown City Geeks and CountdownCityGeeks.com. So this week, I have been your host, Mike. And as always, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, be good to each other. And as always, pro wrestling is real. People are fake. Boom.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Adios, Gunther. Woo, that was fun.
Very much so.
Uh-oh, what is this? Is there just a template for it now? I'm assuming there has been.
Yeah.
Wait, is it the video?
Wait.
Please don't tell me you made that during this episode.